Welcome everyone. Today we'll be talking on leadership at the VUCA world, as in what are the things that is happening in our daily life. Now, before we proceed with the presentations all together, let me give you a glimpse as to what exactly is happening. I'll give you three contexts before we proceed with VUCA as a concept. First is an interconnected disruption. Remember, 100 years back from today, probably 50 years back from today, or for that matter, even 20 years back from today, life would have been completely different. 100 years back, if we are going to talk to one another via telegram, probably possible, but only for the selected few, the rich people around there, the people in the know-how of the things, either very rich or with powers, as if we would look into it. Probably 50 years back, yes, telephone would have been a much more essential element, but then never the penetration was not as high as of today's level. 20 years back, it was unimaginable or unthinkable, wherein we can talk to one another, not via telephone, but we can also see each other at the same time concurrently. Now, what I'm trying to do is the interconnectedness disruption that has happened in our daily life, and this is what has led to a zero distance world. Everyone can communicate. Look what we are doing around right now. We are accessing this particular video on an online fashion. You people must be pursuing a course without almost on an AI basis, artificial intelligence basis, depending upon your luxury, depending upon your convenience. You are initiating and completing the courses right at your own pace. Possibly another things which was not unheard of even 20 years back. You have to come under the same roof, probably, as the professor would have been there, and the participants will actually listen to the professors. They would have a Q&A session, iron out the issues before everything would have done it. But now this is the disruption that has been talking about it. The zero distance world, a constant evolution which has been taking place. Accurate threads of impact, be it oil, be it market, be it sentiment, lower optimism, or reduction in investment. As the case might be, we are looking at quantum physics base of understanding of affection, as the case is around it, interconnectedness, and look at the disruption that it has caused. Let me take you to another context. Let's say a value chain disruption or technological disruption. Look, the other day I read in the newspaper, and I'm saying approximately yesterday or day before yesterday, wherein a person has printed his slash her ear from his slash her skin. So you are printing your ear for probably the ear was malformed, as in the case might be. It got surgically removed, took his own skin from some other part of the body and printed it out. Now, what I'm trying to do, it's a wake up call for machine, tool, plastic surgery industry, you name it, and we have it. It's a 3D printer. Text to video was unheard of about 5 years back. Also, things have come up. Cloud kitchens, yes, it is everywhere. You are looking at another delivery mechanism for your F&B outlets, food and beverages outlet. The Uber, the Ola, whatever is happening around it, you name it, the ride share that comes around with the taximeter, the mobile wake up call, the camera with the alarm clock, and so on. What has happened to telex, pagers, letters, landline, tickets? Everything has gone out of fashion. Nothing is much in vogue. If I say about telex, somebody, if I say about pagers, people won't even recognize that these were one of those innovations and things that were trending at one point of time. And this is a hard fact. Let me bring it to the eventual third context, which is government based or non government based disruption. It might be of demonetization. Several economies are looking at demonetization as a disruption, which can be a goods and service tax, as the case might be all about it, or GSP, the generalized system of uh, preferences, as what we goes around it. We are looking the GSP burden, digitization based of segmentation, compliance burden, and COVID restriction. As we have come across, what we have realized of late, as the case might be, remember, generalized system of preferences has removed a lot of unique tariff system that was been extended by developing countries, extended to developing countries by the developed countries, as the case might be. What I'm trying to tell it is VUCA. I am trying to build volatility, uncertainty, complex and ambiguous is what VUCA is all about it. And in today's VUCA world where everything is volatile, where everything is not fixed, where everything is very complex to dissect and ambiguous, things are hidden, things are not very transparent, neither very opaque. How do you go about building a leadership ever changing rapidly of your business? And this is what VUCA is all about. It has made the business more dynamic, more complex. This has put almost every leader to think, how do I process it? How do I lead it from the front? How do I take it from here? And that is what leadership at VUCA world is what we are talking about it. The agenda is very simple. The illiterate of 21st century will not be those who cannot read or write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. And that is what we are talking about it. There are thousands, millions, thousands and millions and billions of books on leadership, but then things have changed altogether. Those prophecies, those qualities, those principles are now going to be tested with beyond their limits. It is, as is said in the VUCA world, the agenda is to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Keep on doing it. So this is eat and repeat. What we do about it: learn, unlearn, relearn, learn, unlearn, relearn, and that is the only way where you can remove the volatility, the complex, the uncertainty, and the ambiguous natures of the world that comes around it. So let us understand the what is VUCA and what are the various factors that affects the prime VUCA. Clarify the leadership capability that supports leaders at the uncertain time, wherein the leader himself or herself is not aware about the directions of the organization. Specify and self-assess yourself against the peaky performance skills that you consider yourself to be very lucky enough, and you should study your own steps and actions thereby. In fact, if I may say so, what represents you, or which of these represents you? Is it you have never heard of VUCA, or are eager to learn about VUCA, or probably is it you have already heard of VUCA, have some sort of understanding, and think that something relevant with some relevant skills and capabilities you're going to master it all. Which one are you? Or should I say, you're already fed up with hearing about VUCA? Isn't it a common sense that we are in a crazy world? As if there is a method in the madness, or probably there's a madness all towards in the method, we are going to find it out. What the fuss is all about it? It is all same as it has always been saying. Leadership is taking the opportunity by its uh, realm. You cover it out by your throat and probably wring it out and make the best use of the opportunities that have been thrown at towards you. And that is what is VUCA is all about. So they say, as the Steve Jobs of the founders of Apple Corporation is saying, it is better to be a pirate than join an army. So probably wherein I am here to fight. The army fellow has also to fight. The pirate is also to fight, but the pirate will be fighting without following any rules and regulation. But in case of army, you have to follow a certain hierarchy, and that is what we are looking into it. I am looking at the word called disruptions. Yes, not following the regime, not following the rules, not following the regulation, but creating one for your convenience. And that is what disruption is all about in the norms. So VUCA, as I say in the global context, is volatility, the speed, the ratio, the rapidity of change that comes around it. Uncertainty is unclear about the present and future objectives, about the impact that is going to have, about the unintended consequences that you can suddenly realize as a factual method. Then comes the complex, is the multiple key decision factors, as the case might be. Ambiguous is lack of clarity and meaning of events, no right answer. Remember, this is what we are looking at, is absolutely no right answer. So VUCA is vision. We look to go for it. As far as the solutions or the leadership is all about it. Can we understand from volatility? Can we transfer it into vision? Having a right perspective about the situation, being aware of the situation and being foresight about it. From uncertainty can be transferred into understanding, being uncomfortable, being comfortable in your skin on this uncertain environment, being understanding of the fact of your feelings about what you are doing right or wrong in the situation. Be from complexity, can we find clarity, discovering the boundaries, as in what is working, what am I working within, and that is what is we look into it. From ambiguous, can we go to agility, as in deciding on the course of actions to be ready for the change course, as the case might be, and that is what leadership in the book at the VUCA world is all about it. So reflection, what, why so, where it is, what impacts, why bothered, this is what needs to be understood. One thing for sure, what is true today will be a past tomorrow, will not be a botheration in due source of time. So why don't you bask in the moment? Why don't you make the most out of the moment, as the case might be? One of the greatest problem we face today is to how to adjust our way of thinking to meet up the challenges. Remember, what are the challenges? It is the environment which is becoming increasingly complex, rapidly changing, unpredictable world, and we must rethink our ways to organize knowledge. Look at the pic that I've given it to you. There's this wonderful lady who's sitting and probably in the front of books, a room full of books. One, she is wondering what is to be done, how do I decipher the knowledge that has been stored in all the books. That is what Edgar Morin, the French philosopher on complexity theories, have said it to you. The greatest problem in the today that we face is how to adjust our thinking to the rapidly changing world environment, as the case might be. Remember, the pick which shows absolutely wonderful ways to understand what is the dilemma, what is the what are ethical and what are not, and how to work around it creatively. For one particular this bird to stand in either of the flowers or either of the branches will actually will be very unstable, and this bird will not be able to stand. So what does it do is works out a complete out of box solution and transfer its weights equally to both the stems, and look how well it is balancing it out. It is the resolve to suit the dilemmas, be it ethically or be it creativity, how you go about it. Remember, this is the only photograph that came into my mind before I can actually put you in this particular slide as to what is leadership capabilities in the VUCA world. Look, you have speed, you have agility, you have no vision. You have that in this particular photograph, and still you have to clear it out. You have to steer clear to reach your objectives and that deadline that comes around it. The resilient leadership quality that comes around, which needs to be understood every now and then, is the situational awareness. This is a person perceiving salient elements of a rapidly changing environment in order to anticipate, understand, and act on the future events. As the things it stands, mental agility is applying a creative solutions to the complex problem in a timely fashion, as the case might be. This is what is mental agility is all about it. Then we have the commander's calm, which responding mentally, emotionally, and physiologically in a cool, calm, and a composed fashion. As in the commander's calm, how do we go across it? Learned instinct, take action based on intuitions, learn behavior that become automatic in time through repetitive practice and repeat experiences, as the case might be, as how you go across with it. This is what we are looking forward to. Which leadership capabilities are energetic? Which one do you signify yourself as far as situational awareness is concerned, as of mental agility is concerned, as of the calmness of the commander that comes around, all your basic learned instinct that comes around it? That is what we are looking for it. How do we go across with it? Which one to capitalize about it? Yes, if we are mentally agile at the same time we are calm, nothing like it. If you're aware of the situational situation as it comes around it, probably you have learned those instinct, and probably employing your basic requirement instinct wise, you can capitalize about it. So yes, why I have just put up a pro forma out here, the format out here, wherein you have to jot down what was your situational awareness, where are the mental agility that comes around it, and what are the qualities of commander calmness or the learned instinct that needs to be fragmented or noted down for your references out there. Remember the ability to perform at the worst of the extreme condition, right? And at those worst of the extreme condition, can you come up with the best in you comes from a combination of a confidence, positive and adaptive thinking, a sense of calmness, composure under fire, exceptional focus and concentration, and that's the ability to envision the success before you actually see it, which you actually see this wonderful pic that shows around it. It's the worst of condition. If you can come out with your best of your instinct in terms of your confidence, your thinking abilities, both in positive and adaptive, sense of calmness and composure under fire, and definitive focus and concentration, that will eliminate everything that comes around here. So we need to understand and have to go forward to resolve the dilemmas, be it ethical and creative as the case might be. So peak performance skills, how do we go around it? There are many things. First and foremost thing is to keep your mind still. Practice stress management. Nothing should be bothering you. Nothing should ensure that you are getting upset with any of the factors that is actually happening in the prevailing environment. So keep your tensions under control, keep your emotions under control. You should be able to visualize as to what has happened and what is going to happen. So that is where you can align your goal setting. You remember at this position, you need to understand what are ethically right and what are creatively right. What is the objective that you have set it around it, and based upon it, start your adaptive thinking. This will ensure that your performance speaks out. This will ensure that you achieve your success. This will ensure that their followers will have much amount of faith and trust in your leadership, and that is the whole idea behind it. So peak performance skills, goal setting is clear purpose. Write down, regularly review and assess as on when on basis what are the goals that you're looking into it. Adaptive thinking, you see, I know the mindset. I need to perform well and actually do it as on when on basis. So turn into my body, mind, and know. Actually do the things required to de-stress, as the case might be. So that is what stress management is all about it. Next is the attention control. No multitasking. I focus my attentions and manage the distraction as the case might be. No matter what is happening in the environment, you should not get swayed away by it. It's absolutely no multitasking, focusing on the attentions and managing distraction. Visualization and imagery is describing the end result with the picture. Actually, you see it in your mind. And probably, if possible, can you let others also see the picture that you are actually seeing, enabling them to come into your vision. And that is what the leadership is all about. It is all about visualizing and imagery. It is all about attention control. It is all about handling stress. It is all about adapting thinking, thinking out of box, and ensuring that you attain your goal sets that you have gone to do around it. This is a peak performance skills that comes around it. Again, I've given you to the same photographs of pro forma that is required for your goal setting adapting process that needs to be taken care of. So we'll tell you about when feeling safe. See what happens when everything is cool and calm, when everything is going according to plan. People can become genius. It is only at the time at VUCA things that you look for out of box leadership qualities. So that is what we need to go. When things are good, when things are going as per normal, as per plan, you feel safe, you feel connected. People then probably will be thinking about innate geniuses for radical innovations, as the case might be. Once you have seen the volatility, the complex, the uncertainty, the ambiguous nature, you will translate into it during the cooler times, the peaceful times, to come up with innovative ideas so that the VUCA things doesn't impact you immensely. So we talk about the VUCA leadership tips one by one if we can clarify it before we wind up this particular presentation. That is of clarifying boundaries as to what is good and what is not good. I have worked twice. In fact, I have stressed upon the work called ethically and creatively. How do you go around it? So clarify your boundaries ethically wise and creatively wise. Foresight is a horizon scanning, as the case might be, as to look what exactly is happening elsewhere. Different decision making is also one of the abilities to go around for it. Agility is the fact that you can be agile, you can change your decision as per the requirement, tell and share stories, keep them abreast with your vision, with your process, tell them, share them, ensure that they are at par, they are in the loop, everyone. Keep on adapting. Empowerment and the team is a unit of delivery, as the case might be. So we will talk about the tips. In clarifying boundaries, we converse about few principle and outcome that you expect, as in what to do and what not to do. Foresightness is your situational awareness. That is what is coming down the line. If you behave in a particular fashion, if you opt out of particular options as far as implementation is concerned, what are the hurdles and how long will you like to be in that particular position? What are the various backup plans that needs to be done or dealt with? Different decision making is resolving a suit of dilemma ethically and creatively. Agility is knowing when to change course and direction, making the decisions to do so. Tell, ask for, and share stories. Continuity, novelty, and transition as what we are looking forward to. This is what has been done every now and then. So, empowerment, let your people know what their roles are, why are you acting in a particular fashion? If so, the team as the person who's the deliverer, remember this is the only way to remove all kind of hindrances and get them on your side, on your think pattern, as the case might be. So, leadership tips which you are going to do more at the first point of time. Now, this is what we are talking about it time and again for which one to do about it. Is it clarifying boundaries? Is it sharing stories? Is it adapting? Is it foresight horizon? Is it different decision making? Is it agility or team unit of delivery or empowerment as the case might be? Remember, we come to the last slide that we need to go around it. I have asked you the question as to what the feedback is. Feedback is I've taken away lots that I can put into practice straight away as per as this particular presentation is concerned. Or I have learned some new tools and techniques and I will need to think about it as in how I'm going to apply them. This is what we are looking at it. Or should I say it's been a very helpful refresher unit to think about it. It's been interesting, the last one, and I'm not sure how I'm going to apply it at this point of time. Probably I would love if you have come to this quadrant. If not in this quadrant, remember volatility, uncertainty, complex, and ambiguity is going to persist in a times to come. And in the person who can emerge a winner in a VUCA situation will be and eventually a much more successful person in his or her career and even his or her life per se. With these few words, I would love to end up this presentation. Thank you all for watching this video.